Buckingham Palace, built for his great ancestor, Marlborough, Sir Winston Churchill was born. This is the room itself. And here's a picture of him as a little boy with his American-born mother, Lady Randolph Churchill. Some of his long curls are still preserved at Blenheim. Now, at the beginning of an hour, as an officer in the 4th Hussars. Incredible as it may seem today, he actually took part in that famous cavalry charge at the Battle of Omdurman. He went to the Boer War. It seems natural now that he should have been there on the spot. He was taken prisoner but escaped, and 25 pounds was placed on his head, dead or alive. Then still...
I shall not attempt to prophesy whether the frenzy of a cornered maniac will drive Herr Hitler into the worst of all his crimes. But this I will say, without a doubt, that the fate of Holland and Belgium, like that of Poland, Czechoslovakia and Austria, will be decided by the victory of the British Empire and the French Republic. if we are conquered, all will be enslaved, and the United States will be left single-handed to guard the rights of men. If we are not destroyed, all these countries, ancient countries, many of them, will be rescued and restored to life and freedom.
And the man who led Britain through her Premier and President had many discussions. We all know the 8-point declaration that resulted. The 6th point, you'll remember Mr. Attlee's broadcast.
After the final destruction of Nazi tyranny,
The meeting is over, the President has left. Finest hour looks sturdily to the future. On every one of us lies the...
Many people have been astonished that Japan should in a single day have plunged into war against the United States and the British Empire. What kind of a people do they think we are? Is it possible they do not realize that we shall never cease to persevere against them until they have been taught a lesson which they and the world will never forget?
Conversations proceeded between the representatives of the 3 powerful Allied nations in an atmosphere of cordiality and complete sincerity. There's not the slightest doubt that the President of the Council of the People's Commissars, in other words, Joseph Stalin, and Prime Minister Winston Churchill got on tremendously well. It could hardly be otherwise between two men of such outstanding experience and ability. Profound respect for each other's character, plus their identical aim, the obliteration of all that Hitler stands for, made the success of their meeting certain and positive. This newsreel picture of the two men together tells its own story of this immediate, cordial relationship.
The African war is over. Mussolini's African empire and Corporal Hitler's strategy are alike exploding. One continent, at least, has been cleansed and purged forever from fascist or Nazi tyranny. The proud German army has by its sudden collapse, its sudden crumpling and breaking up, unexpected to all of us, the proud German army has once again proved the truth of the saying, the Hun is always either at your throat or your feet. I do not intend to be responsible for any suggestion that the war is won or that it will soon be over. That it will be won by us, I am sure.
For the destruction of the enemy's forces in Europe in the quickest possible time. Since then, a series of announcements have revealed the names of British and American leaders entrusted with high responsibility in the coming Second Front operations. General Eisenhower is to lead the combined British and American
in the street, it's because they were crowding the campus of Westminster College. But what we might call the collection of another degree,
it's a pleasure to me to introduce Mr. Churchill. He's one of the great men of the age. He's a great Englishman.
A shadow had fallen upon the scenes so lately lighted by the Allied victory. Nobody knows what Soviet Russia and its Communist International Organization intends to do in the immediate future. From Stettin in the Baltic to Trieste in the Adriatic, an iron curtain has descended across the continent. I do not believe that Soviet Russia desires war. From what I have seen of our Russian friends and allies during the war, I am convinced that there is nothing they admire so much as strength, and there is nothing for which they have less respect than for weakness, especially military weakness.
On behalf of both Houses of Parliament, Prime Minister, I ask you to accept this portrait.
The commemorative book was presented by the father of the house, Mr. David Grenfell. The book is, of course, an all-party tribute and has been signed by all but a few members of the House of Commons.
This is, to me, the most memorable public occasion of my life. No one has ever received a similar mark of honor before. There has not been anything like it in British history, and indeed I doubt whether any of the modern democracies abroad has shown such a degree of kindness and generosity to a party politician who has not yet retired and may at any time be involved in controversy. The portrait is a remarkable example of modern art.
I am now nearing the end of my journey. I hope I still have some services to render. However that may be, and whatever may befall, I am sure I shall never forget the emotions of this day, or be able fully to express my gratitude to those colleagues and companions with whom I have lived my life for this wonderful honor they have done me.